Welcome. Today I want to talk about a cry for help for domestic violence against women, battered women, abusive relationship. This is a cry for help. This video is actually inspired by Osinachi Nwachukwu. The death of Osinachi Nwachukwu. If you don't know who Osinachi Nwachukwu is, I'm going to read her biography, so at least you know who she is or who she was when she was still here. Osinachi Nwachukwu, Mrs. Osinachi Nwachukwu, was a well-known Nigerian singer, songwriter, minister of God, and producer of Christian worship music. Was a spirit-filled Nigerian gospel artist and songwriter with the voice of fire. I listened to one of her songs, and each time I listened to that song, it would bring my faith to like the next level. And she was a woman who was after God's heart, being able to use her voice, the voice of fire, to actually sing and capture the hearts of many who were actually looking for God or God's face and faith. She built that. She built that thing around us that makes us, each time we listen to her voice, want to connect with God, want to just be in the presence of God. She sings a song in the Igbo language, and her audience was primarily Nigerian Eastern region. She also survives as a minister of God and also the producer of Christian worship music. In the year 2017, she has released the limelight with the hit song Ekweme by Prosper Ochimana. Osinachi passed away at the age of 42 because of having complications, which was the result of domestic violence. She was tortured by her husband, and her husband taught their children that it was a good thing to beat a woman. Domestic violence is not something you should joke with. It is not something you should take lightly. It is something that you have to report when you begin to see the signs of domestic violence. Unfortunately, majority of our females, our women, don't get out of this until it is too late, which is why I am using my platform to speak on behalf of those who have passed and on behalf of those who are still there and are so afraid to come out and speak. I can't talk a lot on this, but I'm going to read exactly the things that I have written. I am going to read from somewhere. The signs. When someone calls you name, insults you, or puts you down, prevents or discourages you from going to work or school or seeing family members or friends, tries to control how you spend money, where you go, what medicines you take, or what you wear, acts jealous or possessive, or constantly accuses you of being unfaithful, gets angry when drinking alcohol or using drugs, threatens you with violence or a weapon, hits, kicks, shoves, slaps, chokes, or otherwise hurts you, your children, or your pets, forces you to have sex or engage in sexual acts against your will, blames you for his or her violent behavior, or tells you that you deserve it. No, you don't deserve it. These are all the signs of domestic violence. Now, domestic violence comes in various forms. It could be physical, it could be emotional, okay? And one of the things I want to talk about are the things that women say, oh, he has not started hitting me yet, okay? He hasn't started hitting me yet. And so, yes, he can say all he wants to say. He can put me down. He can call me any name he wants to call me. That's, for me, it's not domestic violence because he hasn't started hitting me yet. The minute a man starts calling you out of your name, start treating you like a trash, it is those are the signs that you have to look out for. It is not until he puts his hands on you. And most times when they do this, you still forgive them because they come back to beg you. They come back, they play that role of, I am so sorry, I didn't know what I did, I didn't want to do this, I have no control over the things that take over me when I'm angry, I just kind of put it on you, and then you forgive them. It's even worse when you're married and have children. And so most of these women don't come out, they don't speak on time, they don't tell their family members because, one, this man has control and power over them. Control and power. That's all they're looking for. They want to be able to control you. They want to be able to have that power, that possession. They want to possess you for themselves. You have no right to speak. You have no right to cough. You have no right to eat. You have no right to drink. Let me tell you something. Do you know what marriage is all about? Marriage is about freedom. If you never had freedom before, when you get married, that's the reason why you got married, for you to be able to exercise your freedom and enjoying that freedom with the person that you have decided to spend the rest of your life with, not the other way around. Unfortunately, especially coming back home, Nigeria, let me talk about the Nigerian setup, where from time immemorial, not just Nigeria, but all over the world, the male are always the dominant factor or the dominant person in the house. They feel if you don't have a male child, you're in trouble. If you're a woman and you have no male child for this man, you are in serious trouble. There is this persona, this big thing that has been attached to the male child. It is a sweet thing, but I want you to know that there is no gender, absolutely no gender that is bigger or more powerful or more important than another gender. We are all equal in the eyes of God. We are all created equally. And come to think of it, were we not born by women? Did we not all grow up in our mother's womb? Didn't women push you out, or were you not ripped off if you had gone through C-section, actually, from a woman's body? Why now turn around and begin to abuse the very first place that kept you, the very first place that nurtured you, the very first place that kept you safe? Why abuse women? The control, the power, the manipulation, the isolation, the acquired piece of property. You manipulate these women, you treat them like they're a piece of property that you acquired and can do away with them anytime you feel like. The abuse is real. Women are hiding. They don't want to come out and speak. They are ashamed that they're being battered, and they look at their friends and their families and the people around them, and they see what it is to be married, but they're not enjoying that marriage. They see what it is to be in a relationship, a healthy relationship. They're not in that kind of situation. They're actually living as prisoners. They live in the world of I own you. I own you. You have no right to speak. Seek help. Seek help. Find family violence resources around you. There are so many of them in our centers. I am going to be reading something from here, and I hope that we all, be able to understand where I'm coming from. Because if I continue to talk, I may not be able to touch on so many things, but I want to be able to read some important things so that we all understand what it is to be a woman, what it is to be a female, what it is to be a girl child. Someone gave birth to us. We are people's children. We are humans. We came into this marriage, this relationship, to love you, not to be battered, not to be beaten, not to be pressurized, not to be tossed around, not to be kicked and punched in the presence of our children, not to be treated as less than an animal. We got married to you. It wasn't a favor. Stop treating us like it's a favor. You did us a favor. There's so many women out there. Because that's the thing you say to us as women. You touch one woman, you touch all women. Stop telling these women, stop telling us lies. Stop lying to them. You tell them one minute you love them, the next minute you bring out a belt and you begin to beat them, hit them, slap them, toss them around, pull their hair. Who died and made you God? There is God, you know. Some of these women go through a lot. Do you know what it is to be a woman? It is hard enough to be a woman. You think it's easy? It's not. The Bible says, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor in the sight of God. What has happened to you? The woman you have, you are supposed to take care of her. A man who cannot provide for his family is worse than an infidel. Do you think provision is only to provide food? No. It's also to provide security, safe haven for your children, for your family, for your wife. A man will leave his family and cling onto his wife. You are bringing somebody into your home to multiply, to reproduce, and you don't think it's enough for her? You don't think it's okay for her to speak? You don't think she has a say, she should say anything? You think she should be under your control? What, where, how? Once you're jealous of, some of you, the women are so successful that you become so jealous of them, and then you begin to dominate them. You want to dominate them. You want to control them. You want to show your power. You begin to isolate them gradually from society. They begin to lose themselves. They cannot even identify who they are anymore. I'm going to read something. And I want you men out there who batter women, who beat up women, who think women are just a piece of furniture in your home. Please don't kill us. Please don't beat us. We are made to be loved. We are vulnerable. If you don't love us, if we irritate you with our sight, if we irritate you with our voice, if we irritate you with our success, if we irritate you with our presence, throw us out. That's right, let us go. We came from somewhere, we'll find our way back there. Let us go. We are tired of domestic violence and women coming to your homes with their 2 legs, they walk into your home and leaving your homes in body bags. You hurt one, you hurt all. Every woman, every child deserves to live. We deserve to breathe. We deserve happiness. God needs us here. We are important to our families, our children, our society. So if you're fed up with having us around, please let us go. Please let her go. Let her go. For every one of these women you hit us all. For every one of them you despise us all. We are tired of pleading with you. We are tired of thinking that one day you will have a change of heart. We are tired of our children experiencing this domestic violence against us women. We are tired of being manipulated. We are tired of praying every day and night that you show us kindness and love. We are tired of being your punching bag. We are tired of trying to figure out if to turn left or right when you kick us and pull our heads. We are tired of being afraid. We are tired of living in fear. We are tired of laughing 1 minute and crying the next minute. We are tired of hiding our worries and concerns. We are tired of over-loving you and under-loving you at the same time. We are tired of all the physical and emotional bruises you inflict on us. We are tired of pretending to the world that all is well when it's not. We are tired of hearing our babies and children cry when you kick us and beat us up and pick us up and pick up the belt and hit us the way you want and treat us violently the way you want. We are tired of seeing our kids hide under our beds and in closets during this domestic violent abuse. We are tired because our children, our loved ones, our women who wants us here to survive and be here are tired. I am tired of you. I am tired of you. Men who beat up their wives. Men who beat up women. Men who think it is okay for a man to beat up a woman when she misbehaves, or when, as you think, misbehaving. When she speaks, she shouldn't speak. She has no say at the table. Her place is in the kitchen. What does she know? She's a woman. She's only a woman. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? What are you so afraid of? What are you so afraid of? Because that woman you murdered, or the same woman that you beat all the time, is such a power and a threat to you? Why did you get married to her in the first place? Why? Why? Because every woman's thought is to be a companion to you, show you love as you show her love, not abuse her, not treat her like that. If they were told what would happen to them in your arms, did you think they will come to you? Do you think any family member will actually give their kid off to you to marry? And you're like, oh, you deserve everything I do to you because I'm doing you a favor. I married you. I saw other women and I chose to marry you. I saw so many people, but I choose you. And you think she wants to be chosen by somebody who will batter her, beat her up when she's pregnant, hit her when she's talking, ask the children to hit her as well, and make the children believe that it is okay to continue to abuse a woman? These children look at you, they see you, your boy child see you. I hear when fathers tell their sons, don't behave like a sissy, don't behave like a girl, you punch like a girl, you walk like a girl, you do things like a girl, come on, be a man, be strong. Are you serious? Girls are equally strong. Girls are who they are. We are female. You are a male. There is a difference. We obviously don't have the same things that you have. And you obviously don't have the same things that we have. So stop making it like it's one gender more important than the other. And it begins from the root, where people want to let the boy child feel so important. Women, we do this all the time. He's your brother. He's your older brother. You need to respect him. Oh, he's my only son. And the others are girls. We need to respect him. I know what I went through before I had him. I know what the pain I went through. Really? You didn't go through the same pain having the girls? We need to change the narrative. We have sold ourselves. We have brought ourselves down to that level that men don't even see us as anything anymore. And it starts from correcting the narrative. So when things like that pops up, and you hear people say, "Oh, be strong like a boy, like a man. Don't behave like a girl." Let him know. How is he behaving like a girl? He's a boy. Well, what does it mean behaving like a girl? Are you saying that girls are weak? We are girls. There's a difference. Are you saying girls are weak? Stop behaving like a girl. You're telling a boy child not to behave like a girl. And so when he grows up, he's going to be seeing himself as a macho king over his wife, over his girlfriend, over the person he wants to get married to. And then that's where the trigger begins to come. When the girl says something, when the girl feels this is what I want, this is what I want to do, this is what, the next thing you do is hit her. You want to hit her. Shut up, because you've been told. Men, it is high time. For those of you who are not into domestic violence, for those of you who do not hit your woman, kudos to you. For those of you who marry them and give them the heaven that they have been promised, kudos to you. For those of you men who cherish your women and cherish them and show them love, kudos to you. God bless you so much, for you shall inherit the kingdom of God. Marriage doesn't mean slavery. Marriage doesn't mean you've sold your freedom, women. Marriage certainly doesn't mean your freedom or self-worth or voice has been exchanged for marriage, that you cannot talk, you cannot speak, my freedom is gone, I can't talk. Or you want to say something. This was a lady who was courting you before. Some of us had the opportunity to court you for a very long time, and some people didn't have the opportunity to court for a very long time, and hence they don't even know who you are. And sometimes people change along the line. Maybe they lost their job or something like that, and the true character begins to unfold. It is not right to hit a woman. It is not good to raise your hand and hit the very person who has come to you to love you, to cherish you, to share the rest of their lives with you. Marriage doesn't mean you should live in fear. We shouldn't be living in fear. We should not be afraid of you. How can I be living in my father's house and I'm so free? Or living by myself and I'm so free and happy and I have a say, I can talk. And now I'm living with you and I'm living in perpetual fear. I can't talk because you have asked me not to. The music is too high. The light is too loud, whatever. Turn it down. Don't take a shower in the night. Take a shower during the day. Take it one time in a day. Take it once in two days. Look at you, all eating and getting all big. Look at you, so skinny. Look at you, you're so fat. Look at you, you can't even carry your legs. Look at you, you can't even bend down. Look at you, you can't even clean here. Look at you, you can't even make the food. Are you serious? What is it? You think it's her fault? Because when she leaves you, you're going back to beg her and bring her back. When she leaves you, you go and apologize to her and bring her back and begin the process over and over and over again. She's the main hero here. She only doesn't realize that because you're controlling her and showing her that you are so powerful and very, very, very manipulative. You're trying to cut ties. You're trying to make her cut ties with her families, with her friends, with the people around her. Some women just go to work and come back home straight. You take their paycheck from them. You take their hard-earned money from them. Is that what marriage, is that what relationship, is that what love is all about? Marriage doesn't mean it's a favor. Marriage doesn't mean you're lucky, that I got lucky that I married you with punches and black eyes and stabbing and me going into the hospital every day as a result of domestic violence. Marriage doesn't mean you should be disrespected as a woman. You should not be disrespected in any way. Marriage doesn't mean for better or worse. When it becomes toxic and life-threatening, you need to leave. I repeat, as a Christian, we don't believe in divorce, okay? Marriage doesn't mean for better or worse. When it becomes toxic and life-threatening, it is time to pack your bags and leave. Marriage doesn't mean you have no choice, because you do. And that's what he's holding against you. You will never amount to anything when you leave me. You will never find anybody as good as me. You will never make it there by yourself, on your own, outside in that world. You have no money, you cannot survive. And this is for our sisters who actually have nothing, like money. Sometimes they stay back because of their children. Sometimes they stay back because they have no job, no work, because they crippled you already. He has crippled you, or you have crippled yourself. You have to find a way to make some income. You have to make sure you are as useful to yourself as you are useful to anybody else. Because that is one of the things that make women stay. You hear women all the time, where will I go to? How will I start? Well, I don't have the money to even rent a place and start all over. I can't go with my children. How am I going to feed them? What am I going to do? Where do I start? Marriage doesn't mean you have to be the only one sacrificing your talent, your sweat, your love, your success for the other without being appreciated or compensated. Which means even when you have all of these things, when you're working, when you're educated, when you have the money and everything, an abusive person will still abuse you regardless. There's something not right with them. It's nothing to do with you. If they don't want to see you, it's their headache. You have to seek help. Marriage doesn't mean it's your fault. They always want to blame you. They always want to blame you. Don't take the blame. It is not your fault. Marriage doesn't mean you should be told to cut off ties with your family and friends. And so when a man begins to tell you to cut off your family, cut off ties with your family, with your friends, that's a red sign. That's a no-no. Begin to ask him the reasons why. Why? Marriage doesn't mean living in isolation. Marriage doesn't mean you will suffer or regret when you walk away and from its toxicity. I repeat again, marriage doesn't mean living in isolation. Marriage doesn't mean you will suffer or regret when you walk away from its toxicity. I wrote all of these things. I want you to be able to live. If you want a copy of this just to remind you, I can send it to your email. Please, I need us as women to think really hard if you're in an abusive relationship, what that could do to you, what that could do to your children, how it will affect you and affect your family, your immediate family, the people who truly care about you, your friends. And for my Christian sisters who always think that marriage is, if I leave, I'm a sinner because God doesn't encourage divorce, okay? Seek help. Okay, I know some of you have gone to your pastors to talk to them and nothing has happened, nothing changed, especially in the society where you find yourself that men are so dominant. They just don't think for you. So coming to tell them is even just not even saying anything. Help yourself. Help yourself and change your story so you don't live in a body bag. Help yourself. Help yourself. Once a marriage becomes toxic, life-threatening, please, you're no longer a sinner. You are not a sinner. God has already forgiven you. And he's even telling you that's the exit. That's the exit. Leave. You probably did not pray properly to get this person. Or you did, and the devil brought this person. Now leave. 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 Because if anything happens to you, guess what? He's going to get married to somebody else. If you don't live in a body bag and you live in a wheelchair, he's still going to have an affair with somebody else. You are better than you think. You are stronger. You are the hero. You are the person he's looking at. You are the threat to his own life. Because of your smile, because of who you are, because you give him that thing that comes from you that makes him want to see that you are stronger than he is. Because any man who actually feels that he's a strong man would never raise his hand and hit a woman. Only weaklings do that. Only failures do that. Only people who have low self-esteem, men who have low self-esteem do that. Which would you rather? Stay with people like that? Or choose to be the strong woman that you are and leave them as crying babies that they are? and stop receiving all the punches and humiliation from them. Lastly, women, I want us to take a moment to pray for all the souls that have been snatched by these wicked, domestic violent men. Let us pray. I pray that their souls be received in heaven. I pray that they find peace. I pray that they find rest. And may the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in perfect peace. And that God will continue to console their families, their children, their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, their loved ones, their friends, all the people who care about them, and all the sisters and friends and women who truly care about these people who have departed forcefully from this world as a result of domestic violence. And for the ones that are still there right now going through that, I pray that God helps them. I pray that there's somebody that will come and help them out. I pray that they're able to use the resources that they have, including the videos that they see, including the resources online that they have, to reach out to people who can help them, centers that can actually help them, people who truly can help them out of it before it is too late. I pray for their children as well, that they be consoled and that they know that this is wrong and grow up to be better people to change the narrative, to change what it is. Please, Father, help them. Help us to look for them, to find them, to get them, and to bring them out of this pain that is being inflicted upon them by the very men that they trust, the very person that they choose to stay with and share the love that you have asked us to do. Please, Father, help them. In Jesus Christ's mighty name, amen. Thank you so much for listening. I pray that you've been touched by this. I pray that you'll be able to share this video with somebody that you know is going through domestic violence one way or the other. I pray that you're able to help somebody else use your voice when they cannot use their voice. Use whatever medium you can, social media, whatever you can to help them. And if you do know someone who's going through that right now as a woman, please do not hesitate to call any of the centers, go to the police or whoever, and just make that report, because you could be saving a life. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, please keep adjusting your crown. You're better than you think you are. Thank you.
My name is Mrs. Sandra Jacobs. Stop domestic violence.
My name is Mrs. Maureen Emodi. Stop domestic violence.
My name is Felix Adewale. Stop domestic violence.
My name is Mrs. Azuka Nwosu Okaru. Stop domestic violence.
My name is Mrs. Bimi Fumilola. Stop domestic violence.
Hi, my name is Nick Okunzoa. Stop domestic violence.
My name is Mrs. Catherine Adewale. Stop domestic violence.